Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your late night football fantasy. It's your boy Russ with your boy Ghost Man. You know me, it's otherwise Big Daddy. I'm here to help you. It's late. I know it's late. We're gonna try to get this going weekly at about 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? A little late tonight, but it is for you. Ghost, you got a little bit of background noise. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh, shit, do it.
It
Hold on. One second.
yeah. It
Okay,
is for you. So we're not gonna take up too much of your time. We're not gonna take up too much of your time this evening. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over just the top 10 quarterbacks. Now, if Ghost wants to join me, he'll be joining me, you know what I'm saying, if he wants to, but I will be going over the top 10 of each position. I'll make sure I'm on at 9 o'clock. If they need to join late, they will. But we're gonna do this thing at 9, and it may be Russ and friends, it may be me by myself. But tonight we got Ghost baby. And the reason why we have Ghost on here is because as I do talk about fantasy, I want to get some guys that I know are really good at fantasy football. Ghost is one of the best fantasy football players that I know. For every time that I've beaten him, he smashed my face into the wall and let me know, and we laughed about it. He's I don't know. I don't know about the. I know that I'm not. I don't really. The league that died is gonna get its rebirth, which we'll be covering on here. Well, actually, I'm gonna be doing the stream of that league live whenever we do kick it off. I'll be doing the stream live from Sleeper. That's gonna be going on. I think that's my echo actually.
I was gonna
Um,
say I muted everything.
yeah, that's my echo. One second, y'all.
Okay.
Let me mute the mic. Go ahead and tell people why you like fantasy football and why you here before we start the top 10. While I fix my shit. My bad, y'all.
Man, okay. So I mean, I really ain't start really getting to fantasy. I think it was like in 2018. I was always kind of interested in it. I mean, pretty much all y'all knew. Anytime it came around, y'all boys was locked in. Made it seem like a good time. So I never knew really anything about it. I would always do like a free league, but I was just drafting just to draft. Drafting my favorite players. I didn't know the ins and outs of it between just like regular scoring and PPR. And then when the first time I joined, like I said, back in 2018, um, I was just like, still pretty new to it. Just kind of jumped in for the fun of it. And so legendary, my first pick in 2018, Russ was in that league, selected goddamn Le'Veon Bell, and we saw what he did to me.
Bruh.
Yeah,
And,
you
and
know
we
what
and
I'm
we
saying?
also and we also saw the incredible like disrespect, rightfully so though, because like you was mad, you was like, "What the fuck?" And I remember the funniest thing about it is like I didn't know at first because I your name wasn't Ghost at first, it was something else. Your
Yeah,
name was
yeah.
something else when you first joined, and I didn't know it was you. And so I was rolling, and I was like, "Dollars." I was like, "Who the fuck is this thing going for Le'Veon?" He was like, "Nigga, that's Ghost." I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
I said, "This nigga good." I was like, "Oh my god!" But you rebounded. You rebounded very well though. Like you showed that like injuries happen, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You gotta buckle up by your motherfucking bootstraps and get the shit
yeah.
done. One way or another.
Exactly, exactly. So, but no, yeah, man. Like I said, it's always a good time. I know having won one 2 years ago, I did make it to the ship, against Dollars, and of course, what I'm saying, he ended up blowing me out. Fucking, I never forget that day. I was watching the
Bruh.
Cowboys, and
That's
CeeDee Lamb just went off. I think it was like
that's
a
why I wish he
Thursday
was
night game.
here.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted him to be on this one so bad because, like, bro, they understand. Like, that man's a
mm,
fantasy demon. He has a
he
lot of
is.
things, pointers he could get out to people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
I was watching
sometimes
that
it just
Sean.
be like, yeah, he'll like, go on a losing streak, and then he'll just win low scoring
Bro,
games. I'm like, bro, you the only fantasy champion I know that win, by a score of 70-68. I'm like,
yeah.
everybody else putting up like 150, but you find
Uh,
somehow, some way you win,
he,
you know,
this the,
80-point games.
it's the no matter what mentality. Drag it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
actually, the last one, and this I can't wait till we got to figure out how we gonna replace that one spot. We gonna get it done. We got some ideas, but yeah, I think I've lost more championships in that hoe than most. But I will say this: the reason why I want to do this though, because I did want to say like I've only used to do what y'all's league, and I would do like just daily fantasy. And so
Yeah.
for the first time, this is what made me do this though, because I was like, man, let me test some skills, because I'm hearing about you going into other leagues and winning. I hear about
Mhm.
Dollars going into other leagues and winning. I hear about Chris being in other leagues and winning. I hear about Sean being in other leagues and winning. And everybody, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go. And so for the first time last year, I joined 2 new leagues.
Yeah.
Man, Coach, BTA. I was in a, like one both them motherfuckers. One of them was my cousin Corey, who was playing college with us, his league, which was dope. I'm gonna be back in that one. I'm also gonna stream that draft when I do that one. I'm gonna stream all my drafts. I'm gonna stream that draft when I do that one. And then I was in one. Oh, Coach, you would have loved it. Well, I told y'all about it when I was doing it. I got in one with the CPG boys. A couple of them. I think it was Kurt, Parsnip, a couple of the guys in it. And honestly, Ghost, it was the ones that used to beat our ass. I remember Mitch. He was in there. Yeah, I had to put
that
the
motherfucker.
I need to reach out because I want to see, because he streams, the league that we doing, we got like streamers. And so you know what I'm saying? When I do clip this, I know there's one person coming in and out, but for those who
That man just made end, that man makes a living off of Madden.
Madden, bro.
That man.
I really, but I was gonna ask him to be in it, but then one, I don't think he wanted me, because a lot of the dudes I asked that were the quote unquote upper echelon didn't really answer back to me, so I was like, damn. But Joe gonna be in it. I don't know if you remember, Joe gonna be in it, BJ gonna be in it, Swan gonna be in it.
Okay.
So yeah. We're gonna get it. It's gonna get going. And by the way, those who catch us on the back end, those who are watching this later, if you are into playing the college football 26, I do have a mega cross-platform league that we that we are doing. We got a Discord, so get at me. We can get you up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's you gotta stream it. We want a little bit of personality in there, and we're gonna clip it and make it a good time. Now, I guess all the pleasantries. Well, I want to start with this though, since I have you and you are my friend, and we can just talk. I was telling Chris. Chris said he gonna jump on probably the next one that I do. He had to go do something. He wanted to jump on like we did the other day, but I was like, man, what you call? I saw something and I talked about it with Chuck today. It was funny as hell because I brought it to him. He's like, damn. And let me look at it on my phone. It was the special question that I was gonna have for you in dollars earlier. And so I read this and I was like, one, a crazy way to word something Kendrick Perkins took. He might get top 5 in the haters ball next year for the way he worded this. So like this nigga got this, but I mean it's kind of valid, but there's one you can take off, but I can express my bias. It's like maybe 2 that you can take off. But he put this, I think there's 3, but he put maybe 4. I think it's 4. But he put Kendrick Perkins' list of point guards he would take over Chris Paul all time. I said, damn. If you want to point at a nigga and tell him I don't like you, that's the way. He didn't even say, let me just get a top 10. Let me leave Chris Paul off of it, and then I'll explain why. He said, I'm just going to go ahead and make the top 10 and tell you these are all the 10 motherfuckers better than you.
More.
So I'm going to read it to you, though, Ghost, because, like, when you hear it, you're going to be like, he hold him on some, but
And I heard something about it, but no, go ahead and tell me what you named.
So, you want me to go from 10 to 1, or you want me to go from 1 to 10?
Go ahead, from 10 to 1.
All right, from 10 to 1. So, we got Bob Cousy at 10. Now, I had a problem with this.
Okay. I've never seen Cousy play, so I'm not going to, yeah.
They can call me racist. They can call me
here we go.
They can call me whatever they want. I do not believe that Bob Cousy can fuck with anybody now. And I honestly believe if we go back to 1965, I can go to an alley basketball park in any of the main places where they hoop, New York, Indiana, where was it, Philadelphia. I can go find me a nigga better. Sorry for my language. I can go find me a nigga better than Bob Cousy. I bet you. They just wouldn't let him play. And I bet they told him, if you try to play, we're going to hang you. So, but be that as it may, number 9 was Jason Kidd.
I can see that. That one I can definitely see.
I was in agreement. Number 8 is Steve Nash. Now he peeped this. Chuck actually checked me on this one, and I was like, damn. Normally I have a lot of rebuttals for that nigga, but I didn't have one, because he was like, bro, you just disregarding 2 MVPs. You disregarding like being the leader of a team as well. I was like, and I did all that, and I needed to slap myself on the wrist, because I did all that, and I chastised my boy Chris for putting people ahead of people just because they made the finals or got further in the playoffs. And I was like, but Chris Paul made the finals, and he was like, really? And then I thought about it, and I was like, man, nah, Nash is better than him. Like, if I was to have a team with nameless gray faces and I was just to pick one of them, I'd pick Nash.
And Nash kind of always say, he late bloomed, but he really blossomed later because he came in '96. Yeah, with the Mavs, he was good. He was really the third star on the Mavs. When y'all had y'all run with Finley, Nowinski, and him. So he was definitely like the third star on the Mavs. But I think once he really got his own team, quote unquote, then he was
Yeah.
fully able to blossom, and you could see exactly what he can do. And I mean, granted, his defense. I mean, he doesn't have any defense. So that's the thing. He doesn't have any defense, but he's such a damn good facilitator. he's a winner. So I mean, I could see that where you can be like, okay, I will, I will go ahead and take Nash over Chris Paul. I mean, it's a slight edge, but I can see that.
Slight.
Yeah,
Slight. I actually, me personally, I actually had what's his name? I have Jason Kidd over both of them, but
oh, of course,
after
yeah.
after Steve, yeah, I had a lot to say about him being like 9, but I wouldn't get on that a whole nother time. Um, Russell Westbrook coming in
Woo!
at the hot
The
at
Brody,
the hot 6, one of the hot 7 spot.
the Brody. Okay, the
I
man.
agree.
I do
I
agree.
do think I think he's
Mhm.
better. I do think he's better than Chris Paul. I do think that he's better than Chris Paul.
I mean, but with Westbrook though, I mean, it's like that AI not necessarily a comparison to AI, but Westbrook he's a point guard, but he's more of a scoring point
Yeah,
guard. He's a high volume point guard. Most of his assists come off of him, you know, getting to the rim and dumping it off,
he started the
passing
revolution.
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, a big strong point guard, one of those ones along the lines of the Jason Kids,
But he's
the Penny
freakishly athletic,
Hardaway. Yeah, yeah, freakishly
baby Braun
athletic.
type shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good comparison. He's one of those like just big, strong point guards. Had a hell of a mid range game, and I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to that mid he had, but
But
yeah.
let me interject because you are my friend and you've heard me use Baby Braun before. Somebody might catch
Mm,
this on the back end and be like, "What the fuck?" No, I'm not
mm,
saying he's LeBron James. I'm saying freakishly athlete, but he's only like 6'4". But he's
yeah,
got the
if
same
that.
type of like
Yeah.
explosiveness towards the rim. And if you don't
Mm,
believe that Brody has that explosiveness towards the rim, I suggest you to go watch a highlight tape before
yeah,
motherfuckers started making fun of him.
exactly. Okay.
Now this one we might agree, we might not agree, but this is one where I was like, no, and I love the player, but I was like, no, you're not better than Chris Paul. And that was Gary Payton.
Woo! The
I know
glove,
it's gonna pull at your 90 strings. I
mm,
know it's gonna pull at
the
your 90
glove.
strings. But I don't think overall I can't go, and you know how I pick players. Other people do it their
Hmm.
way, but the way I pick players is nameless great faces. I ain't got nobody else on my team. I just got
Hmm.
him. The other person got the other guy, and they got the other random foe, and I got a random foe. And I think if you put that on the table, I want Chris Paul.
Yeah,
I Gary Payton gonna shut down pretty much everybody, but when the going gets tough and we need a bucket,
that's the thing. Paula get you a bucket.
oh
What?
shout out Chris, yeah, he joined us. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
yes, you gotta take CP3 over Glove. Now the next one, I think we'll all agree. Um, Isaiah Thomas, he is better. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
and I
I'll
don't
t-
think this list was done, and if this list may have been done in order as Kendrick Perkins list, I think it was
yeah.
done in his order. Um, I wouldn't have Isaiah Thomas number 4 because the next guy is gonna
Mhm.
be me. Like this is why I wanted Chris to be on the show today
Mhm.
because this next guy, which me and Chuck
So
are
wait,
gonna
wait,
go.
wait, wait. What number was IT again? You don't know.
IT is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. IT is number 5.
Five.
So we're in the
Okay.
top 5. IT is number 5. Now this is one I was gonna argue. Okay, John Stockton. Now, and again, y'all gonna say I'm
Nah.
not racist. I'm not.
I no, no,
Like
no, no, no. I'm not taking John Stockton over Chris Paul.
no, I know someone who
Hmm.
is. He's typing it right now. Like
Hmm.
he's probably typing it right now.
Hmm.
And like I feel why one would say they would take John Stockton because of success. And it was put to me
Hmm.
today like, well, you gotta, and this was Chuck telling me, well, you gotta think about how, and I didn't disagree. I was like, he's very right. Um And all he said, not over CP, okay. But he said he said that I was like, he said you got to think about niggas' decisions and the fact that you know what I'm saying that did CP3 make decisions that kept him from being like a John Stockton. In a sense, I'm paraphrasing for sure. Like you already know when this nigga see this, this nigga gonna explode. Like this nigga Russell put words in my mouth, motherfucker, I'll choke him. In fact, let me send him the link. But basically he was saying like you can't always knock a guy for a team that he has. He gave a great debate for why you can't knock a guy for the team he has, in a sense. But me personally, I feel like even though he's a horrible person, Karl Malone really fucking good at getting open on the and we gonna get into the hurt. Karl Malone was really like when you play in a pick and roll offense and the guy that you giving the ball to until LeBron passed Kareem had the second most ever. And then you have a team who's ran like let's remember the Utah Jazz in the late 80s and 90s were ran very well compared to some of the things we saw. The whole thing CP3 was with the Donald Sterling. Like CP3 was in a shit show. Like there, and then
he was.
And then I think, and then like Chris, as you put out, how do you put this up here? As Chris puts out, like injuries play a part in things. Like what happened to him in Houston. Like I know that sucks, bro. Yes, that because people love to talk about like what really happened, but we all know from watching it and living it, like they was about to beat the Warriors. Like they was about to beat them, and it wasn't just because James Harden was good, because CP3 was the leader, and that's one thing I give CP3 credit for.
Yeah,
is he's every team that CP3 is on. He's
just think about it, leader. Like he had to and people kind of forget this, but when he his first that 1 year in the Thunder, he had them like top 3 to 4 seed.
Yes,
with a baby Shai Gilgeous.
Yeah, I really believe that him being on that team got them to like stop being so childish that they cost them games. They're still young and have fun, but so I just in that case, and I'm surprised because I thought maybe Chris was gonna take Stockton with the success, but I gotta take CP3 over Stockton. I think Kendrick Perkins. I don't know why you hate Chris Paul. I thought I didn't like Chris Paul. Y'all know me. I be talking mad shit about Chris Paul, whatever he be playing, but I think this is the most hater list ever. Now,
and then not only that, and then back with Chris Paul. Okay, well I was gonna say with Chris Paul, not only, like you said, him in the conference finals. I mean, fortunately, he was 2 games away, from winning the championship. But my boy, freaky Giannis, he did his thing. And then don't forget that Hornets team he was on. They lost to the Spurs, but that Hornets team where he was like the MVP runner-up that year. I mean, Chris Paul, he's a winner. So
that Hornets team. That Hornets team is the reason why I hate that man on the court.
Yeah,
I love Chris Paul, the basketball player, but as whenever I think about him, I think about what he did to the Mavericks the first year we had Jason Kidd, and I also think about how I had to sit every game and watch those with Chris in college, and they were horrible. And so those memories of them just yelling at me saying Dirk ain't got it, and then we saw what happened in the end though.
Yep.
Now let's go to the top 3. I don't really think we're gonna disagree with this one. Now some may. Oscar Robertson, I don't really disagree. Right?
Don't disagree with that.
Oscar submitted. He submitted, man. Like he the first one to do amazing shit.
Yeah.
If I'm not, he's the people gonna say Bob Cousy. Look. I don't care. I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with Bob Cousy. So to the first person to do amazing shit at the point guard position that was just like crazy and everybody had to look averaging a triple-double, Oscar Robertson. So he cemented. Steph Curry, that's one reason why I'm sitting back like I had to readjust my thoughts about Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's number 1, of course. I think
that's a discussion to be had.
Yeah, we now before we get into fantasy, because we done talked 20 minutes about the list of Kendrick Perkins. I will say this: a new discussion which we might need to have, and I'd love to have Chris and the other guys a part of it. 30 and Friends. Oh, hold on, let me do something quick. 30 and Friends is where is it? Is Steph Curry, has Steph Curry passed Magic Johnson as the best point guard ever? That's one that I think we can have a discussion about, because I know a lot of people gonna be like, what? But I'm gonna be like, actually, I think that you see it. Like and subscribe. I think that we can have a discussion. I think Steph is better. I know he hadn't won the fifth one, but we
Mhm.
can have that. We can have a discussion at a time. What quick thoughts? Who you taking though? Steph or Magic?
I'm taking Steph because if I need
You
a
know that nigga
bucket,
on the pod.
if I need a bucket, and you
He gonna
need
give
that
you.
damn bucket, yes, that's gonna be Steph. Now,
Definitely. Magic gonna be.
there's been times though where Steph hasn't kind of been clutch in late game situations. We can't deny that. It's been seen, especially in that 2016 finals. You know, when it was time for him to kind of be clutch, like you like, damn, Steph ain't, showing up. And then, granted the moments in the other game moments, KD, was hitting the big shots.
Yeah.
Um, but but Steph is I will still take my chances. Like if I need a late game bucket, I mean, give me Steph. Granted, he probably had probably like the greatest stretch in Olympic history.
Mm-hmm.
Was the last year. That stretch was just like when you saw that, you was just like, damn, that was the Steph Curry we
Yeah.
all remembered. Like because everybody was thinking like, damn, Steph, like even like towards the end of that season, he was, he didn't look good. Everybody's like, man, he's slowing down. He's slowing
Yeah.
down. And then
I think
yeah.
no. I totally agree, and I think Steph doesn't slow down. I think he just has. He's
Mm,
one of those. He's one of those guys with the way he plays. He just has to have. Everybody has to have that perfect team around him, but for him, you
yeah.
can't overutilize him. He's not.
Mm,
He's not 6'9". You know what I'm saying? He's not
yeah.
7 foot tall. He's a regular sized man, a human being. You know what I'm saying? He's like my height. You know, he's like six
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like just a superhuman. So when you
Mm.
look at guys like that, you got
And
to give them
then
help. Well,
And
oh, go
then,
ahead.
granted, too, I mean, a Father Time, I mean, gets everybody. He ain't gonna be able to
Mm-hmm.
keep constantly running off those screens like he did, 7, 8 years ago. I don't care, how in shape you are.
Yeah,
Eventually, when you get older, you can't do that shit.
but I think I
That
think I
fast
think as well.
switch, yeah.
I think also with that, I think as he gets older, the team. This is just my opinion before we move on to these
Hmm.
quarterbacks. I just think the team needs to build a bigger team around him.
Yeah.
If it's a lot of thick screens to get around, he'll still be able to get open. But
Mhm.
all right, goes. We gave him 22 minutes of what they're gonna see with us talking about lists and that different
Mhm.
type of stuff. Let's get into another list. Like I said, we're here to help the people, Ghost. We're here because somewhere, maybe not right now, Ghost. There's a guy out there that's getting his ass beaten fantasy. He's losing, Ghost. He's
Mhm.
losing and he's losing all the time.
Yep.
And there's need for people like us who don't lose all the time. We win in fantasy. We win
Mhm.
championships. We win games. We go on winning streaks. We have amazing plays. We have good drafts. And so we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through top 10 each position, not all the positions tonight. Tonight's gonna be quarterbacks. And then if you're whenever you're available, go hit me up. It may be tomorrow. I might jump in and do.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna jump in. I'm gonna do the next position, which is probably gonna be tight ends. And we're gonna do
Yeah.
running backs, and we're gonna wrap it up with receivers, and then we're gonna probably throw in some defensive special teams, and then I'm gonna go into best ways to. I mean, we're gonna have sleepers and all those top tens, and then we're gonna go to best ways to build a team, favorite ways
Mhm.
to build a team. We're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna do these daily. So not day, these all of these daily, but these next couple days I will be doing them because I do have culminating at the end. I have a sleeper fantasy draft that I will be doing on Saturday. Um, and so everybody will get to see a little bit of what goes on in the mind of someone who thinks they're good at fantasy football. All right, so let's jump it off for those out there. We're gonna do the obvious first, or maybe not so obvious. Let me not, judge. Everybody's not like the great Ghost Dollars, me, Chuck, Chris. Everybody's not like us. Sean, shout out to Shotgun. Everybody's
Yeah.
Matt. I don't know, Matt. I ain't never seen you play fantasy like that, so I ain't gonna give you props. And you just jumped in our league. I'm kind of salty because I've been trying to hit Matt. I know he did it. I love you
Mhm.
too, man, but motherfucker, I need you to come in this league and talk that shit. I need
Yeah.
your personality. All right, so let's get it jumping. These are the top 10 quarterbacks, and then Ghost, if you got some rookie sleepers, if you got some like nigga, don't touch that dude because he's probably gonna fuck around and get hurt. If you got some of
Mhm.
those, We're gonna throw some of them, but this is gonna be about the quarterbacks. We're gonna run these quarterbacks, and then we're gonna go our separate ways. I'm gonna probably jump on this college for a little bit, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. We're gonna see what it do. All right, at number 10, we're gonna have Baker Mayfield. Now, I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on him. I'm just gonna give a synopsis real quick. You can give your thoughts. We can go back and forth. I got Baker Mayfield at number 10, and actually, oh shit, Ghost, I forgot. My wordy ass forgot some words. So to let people know, this list is not totally just a compilation of a list that I felt like I thought that was the greatest. What I did was I got a lot of data, whole lot of data. I'm talking coaching trends, trends from the past quarterback. So I did the past 3 years, no, 4 years, 3 years, sorry. Stats and information from the past 3 years. Did some analytical data and math probabilities on what would happen in the future. Did some analytical data on what happens when coaches change. Whole lot of data. Matched all that up, mashed it together, and made a list. Now, again, this is not totally what I would think is the top 10, but this is what is projected to be the top 10 for you guys out there picking fantasy. And me and Ghost are going to go through it to see if we think it's bull job, dookie, or if it's good or in between, or if we agree or not. But I think it's pretty good. Number 10 is Baker Mayfield. We got him for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's starting to settle in. I believe he got his contract, got his money. It is his team. Me personally, I do agree with him being number 10. We'll get into some guys that were left out, sleepers, things like that in a moment. But I think with all these things here, you know what I'm saying, great in the red zone. Like I said, he's the leader. Got a strong chemistry with the receivers. He's not gonna get y'all he's not gonna get y'all a lot of rushing yards. But if you're in a position where you've already picked your team, you have not picked your team. Let's say you're in a position you've already got your running backs. You've already got your wide receivers, and you're in a position where you're like, I could either keep going with these other players and stack, or I can go get me a quarterback that's going to give me that's really going to produce every week. He's the guy that you can wait and pick a little bit later that's possibly going to give you some points. And that's what I think about him. And I love quarterbacks like this. These are my type of guys. You know, me, Ghost, I don't really try to get the superstar talent unless I'm stuck in a position where it's like you got to get Lamar or you got to get Joe or you got to get one of these guys. I like to wait. I like to sit back and get a guy that's going to produce high volume for me. And not take up a lot of, not have to be picked too high. But go ahead, Ghost. What do you think about number 10? Is it?
I would definitely go ahead and agree with Baker Mayfield, number 10. First shout out to Baker. A lot of people definitely, wrote him off. Went to Carolina, the Rams. Pretty much everyone thought like, okay, this is another one of those, number one overall Heisman bust. And he finally went to a good situation with a team around him. I mean, even his first year in Cleveland too, or his first couple years in Cleveland, he had a decent team around him, but the chemistry wasn't there with Odell and everything like that. But now he's got a solid team around him. Like I said, you got Mike Evans, who is probably one of the most underrated receivers.
A team that likes him.
This is going to go to battle for him, going to go to war for him. Like I said, he's got his go-to, red zone threat with Mike Evans. Like I said, one of the most probably underrated receivers of all time. He doesn't get enough, I think, love from a lot of people. So he's got that red zone threat there.
And I believe they drafted the kid from
Ohio State.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm not going to do it.
Ibuka, I'm just going to...
I just said Big E. Big E. Shout out to Chris, because Chris did say that's the steal in the draft when he got drafted. Chris loved that boy. He loves all the Ohio State receivers, and he's been right about all of them.
And so I think he. No, you're gonna. I'll say I think with that receiver, I think with him, old boy out of Ohio State, I think he's probably gonna go ahead and take the Rams of like probably being that number one receiver, kind of grooming him for that. Mike Evans, I mean, granted, he's had these 1,000-yard receiving seasons, but of course, he's getting up there in age. They still got Godwin, don't they?
Yep.
Even though Godwin's
I was gonna say I don't know if he's still banged up, but they have a receiving core. We're forgetting a couple. We're forgetting like a couple of guys they play at slot and maybe the fold.
Yeah, slot.
Point being is Baker got options.
Yeah, he has options. Like you said, he's not gonna get you It's not going to get you a lot of rushing yards. It's probably not going to get you a lot of rushing touchdowns. But like I said, if you got a team, when you're drafting, you're like, all right, kind of got my receivers. I got me a good running back, another
Mm-hmm.
decent running back. I probably got me a tight end. And you probably need that quarterback that's probably going to give you how many touchdowns did he throw last season? Like 35 something?
You
Or
know
did
what?
he throw
Keep
40?
talking. I can find
Yeah.
out. We just keep on
So,
talking.
that's
One
where he's
second.
gonna get a lot of his, points from, is probably having those multiple touchdown games. He may get you a rushing touchdown in there, off the sneak, or, the rollout, from a 5-yard line, 6-yard line. So he's definitely going to get you some points. Definitely, like you said, he'll be one that you look for in the later round, not even later rounds, but yeah, probably like late round, and he'd probably be like your QB1 for your fantasy. So I like that. I do like that. I think he's gonna have
I want, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know what I'm saying. I had to ask my assistant Echo real quick about though. If you know, you know. I had to go ahead and ask her real quick about. You were right though, Ghost. Ghost is on the money. Like, I want y'all to know, Ghost is like a computer that's like constantly running, and you be like, wait a second, I got the information. I'm gonna spit it out. It's gonna be right, but I'm gonna ask you to check it, even though it's right, because I got a lot of other information. But you were right. He passed for 41 touchdowns in the 2024 regular season.
Career, come on now, 41
and
touchdowns.
This though, he played all 17 games. For those of y'all who want to understand how to win fantasy, avoid injuries. We started this pod. We was talking about, or show pod. We was talking about, Ghost told you about Le'Veon Bell. It wasn't injury, but it was something that kept him out the game. This is another reason I wanted Chris on this pod, because I have a friend named Chris who will not draft you if you have injury history or you shaky in the mental area. If you look like you're not fit to play, or if you don't have training camp. And those are something that's how to build a team goes, which is later on. But there's a little, we just threw a little in there. But I would totally take it. And another thing about Baker is why at number 10 he's good to have is because there's another player on his team that ranks in top 10 in another position, kind of giving something away. But or he's a sleeper, I forget, but one of the two. But Bucky Irving. So
yeah, I was gonna say Bucky Irving.
Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that you can put in the game and kind of tag team with players on his team, because their team is set to where certain guys are going to get the ball.
And Rachaad White, I mean, like you said, I mean, Bucky's going to get most of the, the touches. He's going to do workhorse, low. But, White, he's going to catch, he's good out the backfield as a receiving back. I know I had him last season, and, most of my points I got from him was, he was getting me catching touchdowns. He get like, 50, 40, 50 yards, receiving, and, a couple touchdowns, from catching out the backfield.
You keep saying one word, and it's catch. What's the name of the game? PPR, points per reception. Guys like Bucky Irving are very, very valuable, especially if they play with guys like Baker Mayfield, because that team's going to pass. Those guys get covered. What's Baker going to do?
He's going to dump it off,
He's going to dump it off. And he got two guys on his team that are going to try to make some things happen. So that's number 10. Let's not spend too much time on him, but that's Baker Mayfield. If you're looking for, a good quarterback, you don't want to pick too high. These are some of the guys. Let's go to number 9. Number 9, one that might make you say, this is one that's gonna make it. You say, Russell, you done this. I didn't do this. Let's go. Number 9 is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is very polarizing. Some people love him, some people hate him. He's a dual threat QB. You know what I'm saying? He does have a top 5 rushing ceiling. People forget about that. The rushing yards. Health is the thing. This is one of the guys that's the big no-no for Chris. You don't like him because of size factor. Size factor plays into health a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, we got that. It does. We do look at the new roster, the receivers. He does have a top tight end in fantasy in McBride. So the offense is one that looks like it would be one that I would pick Kyler. Me personally, I would pick him. I like him at number 9 because I agree with the fact that as far as the whole fantasy season, you can't trust him. Like, Kyler's the guy that you draft. you can draft him. He can be a starter, but you better have another guy that's capable of getting 20 points on your bench, which is possible to do, and you can pull that off, which we'll go over in ways to build your team. But I do think that I think it's proper right now. I think he's a top 10 fantasy quarterback. I think you might agree, but go ahead, Ghost. Let's see what you got for me.
No, I agree with you. Like you said, with Kyler, highly controversial. I don't think it was maybe been last season. I think I got him, or the season before. Yeah, I did have him on my fantasy. He let me down. No, I didn't have him. It was the season before that. Yeah, I didn't have him last season. And I wouldn't necessarily say he let me down because, at that time, who did he really have? I think he had Hollywood Brown. But yeah, like I said, with him, you're pretty much you're predicating all your points to him. Like I said, getting out that pocket, scrambling, getting those touchdowns. He may go ahead and throw you a couple, but then he's also going to get you, some interceptions as well too. So with Kyler, I think with this season, maybe we should see something better. I don't want to say this is a make or break season for him.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think it's make or break, but we show with that wide receiver he got and that tight end he got, he got to do something.
Like I say, he's got to do something. Like I say, him standing in the pocket is not going to really be too his thing. Like I said, of course, stature. I hate keep bringing that up, but you just got to go with the law of physics. Like, damn,
y'all niggas always use words like stature.
I'm just trying to say, like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He just built. He's. How can I put it?
He's built small.
Yeah, he's built small.
He's small, but you can say he is a little guy.
He's physically disadvantaged. Let's put it like that.
He's a little guy, bro.
Yeah,
there's nothing. I don't think there's that much. He's a little guy, and he plays in the league with a bunch of monsters. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything. Whenever you and Chris say that, I don't. You notice I'm always like, y'all right. Yeah. He is small, but he got like 4.3 speed. He's got a cannon. And when and I think that with some organization around him, and I think he's one of those guys too. That's one of those asshole I want to win guys. And so those type of guys, you gotta have like the people on the team gotta fuck with him. Period. Point blank. Ain't no like you just it's like everybody that played with Cam, you gotta fuck with him because he's so good and he has a certain bravado that he gonna attract some haters. So we got to make sure that none of y'all gonna be some haters, and all y'all gonna do your job. And plus, with him being a quarterback of his stature and his size, and why he probably gets so mad is you got to play a certain way, bro. I'm 5'9". Like I can't afford y'all doing this other stuff because it happens quick. If that. Damn, dog, damn. But seeing as though he's the best quarterback in Texas high school football history. You know what I'm saying? I know some people might be Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
but you know what I'm saying? But I will say
a lot, yeah.
I will say I think that at 9 is a good spot for him because 9 is a spot where it's a spot where we would want you, or we would think with that arm talent you would be in the top 7, 8. I mean top 7, 6, maybe even 5. But again, like you said earlier, the team ain't been really. Like you said, what does he have? But I think this next year, I think the Cardinals are a better built football team. Does that mean they're gonna win? I don't know. But I think as far as fantasy is concerned, all health considered as being good, I think Kyler Murray is a good option. Now, Kyler Murray is one of those guys that you could pick late and mess around, and if he stays healthy the entire season, you could win your league because you're able to pick him late. And you done got a whole plethora of running backs and receivers before him.
I think he'll be good. He'll be good for like a good. This season, get you 18, 18 and a half points.
I think if he's healthy,
yeah.
18 is realistic. See, Ghost, you gave me that realistic view. I'm over here being like, what if? But I think if all things considered, if Harrison does what he's supposed to, if Marvin Harrison Jr. does what he's supposed to do, Trey McBride does what he's supposed to do, I really do think that he could be a 25. Point, he can average about 25. He could be in that sweet spot of a guy that's not gonna. And he's a guy that has explosive capability because he does have 3 or 4 games a season where teams forget that if you let him run, he is faster than everybody on your team.
Yeah.
He runs.
He will definitely. He's gonna have some of those games too. Like they playing like you had those shootouts. They're gonna probably have some shootouts this season,
Yeah.
or some where he's gonna play an atrocious defensive line team, and he's gonna get out there and he's gonna get you like he's gonna be like, damn, Kylie got me 30 piece. Like like damn, he got me a 30 piece. So he's gonna have some of those games.
And when it comes to quarterbacks, anybody's capable of that, depending on the Sunday. Now let's go ahead and let's get to number 8. Speaking of guys that have potential to have crazy games, number 8, he didn't crack the top 5 as everybody's favorite quarterback except for Chris. It's Justin Herbert. Now, I actually agree with 8. I like I'm one of the people that like him. But I also have to be real about the fact that, bro, you have to do more. I do say that he had a coach that was off his kilter, and that matters. And I think that having another season under Harbaugh is going to be good for him. Now, that's on the football side. On the fantasy side, having Harbaugh as your coach is probably terrible. Harbaugh's going to run the ball.
Of course.
So I think 8 is a good spot. Herbert is a guy that I think talent-wise, I'll let you go after this, my bad. Talent-wise, I think he's a guy that makes you say he should, but you have to think about who the coach is, what the scheme is, and what he's going to try to do. So I think he's the guy that's going to be I think he'll get you a solid 20, 25, but I think looking for him to go for 30 and 40, and this is just prediction, it may change, but with history tells us that Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball. And he's only going to have to complete third downs. They may take some shots, but he's not going to be put in a position to where he's going to have gaudy numbers unless a certain day all the shots that they call just happen to work.
Yeah. I think he's another one, and excuse my ignorance, I'm not sure who his receiving core is over there right now.
I got you.
With Justin Herbert.
Chest and Quentin Johnston.
All right, Quentin Johnston's out there. With Herbert, like you said, with him, it's going to be predicated on, that gunslinging. I mean, I'm not going to call him a gunslinger. He doesn't show signs like of a true gunslinger, but he does have that capability to go, to put it out there. I think.
I was going to give you his receivers real quick because he does have a top. He does have a top. He got Ladd McConkey, so let me get that out the way.
Okay.
And he's the top receiver just in PPR just because of the amount of catches that go his way.
Out there.
Quentin Johnston, he catches the ball with his chest, which means he doesn't catch it. Ladd McConkey, yes, he's let me down in fantasy, so I have no love. Let me see, Brendan Rice, Darius Davis, Jalen Reagor, Trey Harris. Yeah. So he's got Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey. Like I said, they about to run this bitch.
They're about definitely gonna run the ball. So I think with Justin Herbert, that is definitely good. Hey, he would definitely probably be coming off he would definitely be my QB2. I would select him as my QB2.
But I will say this. I can't even. If I had a great draft and I was able to pick 2 players at every skill position just about, and Justin Herbert was there, then that's perfect. But I agree with you. And it's not because of him. And that Chargers are probably going to be good this year. It's because his coach is not going to let him fuck shit up. His coach is not going to sit out there and say, look, bro, we saw what happened when you throw it. Like Chris always says, he got a chance to throw the ball a lot. And so his coach is going to, Harbaugh's going to be like, look, I'm going to put you in positions to get your numbers, to get touchdowns, but we're not going to sling it all over the lot because the last time we did that, you threw it to the guys with the other colored jersey. So that's number 8. Number 7, is my guy. Even though Caleb. Even though he does some sus shit. But I still, and I stand on it. Caleb's still better than all these niggas. He just got some shit to learn. Number 7 though, to me that's high. That's kind of high to me. Because you don't know what Chicago's gonna do, but he does have a lot of weapons around him. It's his second year. He's highly talented. I just it's the jerseys, bro. Like Chicago hasn't shown us shit for years. I'm sorry, Ghost. I ain't even trying to.
Look,
I know
I
you're a
look.
Saints fan. I know you're a Saints fan. You like, hey, I've wiped myself up this. So, hey, but yeah, I don't trust the Bears. And so, but I don't know. Seven is you
For
gotta
Caleb
know
Williams, yeah. And especially
like
coming into your second year, I mean, especially what you saw in the first year, I mean, yeah, that's definitely kind of high. I mean, I don't know if they probably take into consideration what the NFC North's going to look like. I mean, because NFC
it's
North, I mean,
that.
you know, the two giants. I mean, the two titans of that division is the Vikes and of course the Lions. You know,
I think
Packers.
it's
I mean, we'll see
more.
what they do. Yeah.
I think it's more or less the fact that Chicago's gonna throw the ball. Like Chicago is gonna throw the ball. It's just you know it's just if you want to take a fly. Like I agree, Chicago is gonna throw the ball. They are gonna you know what I'm saying try to get the ball out a lot, and that has the possibility of he has the possibility of giving you a lot of points. Like again, this is another player. I, if I had my starting receivers already, and I had my running backs. I ain't gotta get double, but I ain't gotta have no backups. But if I had all that set up, I think about it. I think about it.
Yeah, he's one where I'm not like depending on him to give me, you know, 20 something points. I mean, if you give me like 20 to 25, you give me a solid
Yeah,
15 or 18 with the rest of my, you know, receivers and tight ends or whatever. And then if you
it's
got a throw defense, then yeah,
it's stuff like that that scares me.
mm,
Like poise too.
yeah,
Like when you say poise too, that means he hadn't done it. You don't know if he gonna do it, but you hope he do it. Now I just can't trust that. It's just not trustable for me. But I see why he's seven. I see why after all the algorithm got done, it spit him out at seven. But me personally, we talk about team building, I would probably go against that. But the kid's got a chance. Number 6 is Patrick Mahomes. I think.
man.
What you
I'm
think?
not gonna I'm not gonna say the mighty have fallen because he really hasn't. I mean, but damn, like Mahomes, and I think this is probably just because I mean we still kind of think of the team he had around him his
Yeah,
first year. You know, where he
yeah,
started, he was the MVP. You know, he had the Kareem Hunts,
yeah.
and you know he had the Tyreeks and the Kelseys, and you know so. You know, we think, and he was good enough. He would give you 30 just off of touchdowns alone,
Yeah.
passing touchdowns, and then he would sneak a couple of them running ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he was good enough to give about 350, you know, almost 400 yards, you know, a game. But I
He
think,
was killing it.
and I think right now it's probably just not looking at the rest of the other five. Probably keeping him at six is probably going to be, I'll say that's good enough where he is right
I
now
like it.
because, yeah, I like it. I mean,
You
we'll
just don't
see.
know with the team.
We don't, yeah, you know, clearly Kelsey, you know, Kelsey's not Kelsey anymore. And I didn't realize how long he's been in the league. Um,
Yeah.
so, you know, of course, you know, you got Kelsey. Hopefully Xavier Worthy breaks out, you know, this year and, you know, that'll help him. Then of course you got Pacheco and, you know, those guys, but Pacheco's like, I mean, he can catch off the backfield, but he's, you know, more of
They
just
go
handing it off.
as the
Yeah,
passing game goes when it comes to
exactly.
Pacheco on them. Because, like, if the passing game's a threat, the run games will open. They can get that off. But I think six is a good spot for him because we don't know what the offensive line's gonna look like. We don't know what the receiver's gonna do. We know that Pat Mahomes is cold, but this is fantasy football. We not really worried about if you yourself win the game. We worried about if you have a good game. You know what I'm saying? So and I think the Chiefs are gonna win games this year. I just think that
They're gonna
it
win
might be
games
some
like how they won
ugly.
games,
Exactly.
last year. You
Ugly.
know, block field goals. You know,
Yeah.
block extra points. You know, defense getting stops. So I think that's how they're gonna win.
Factual.
You know, a multitude of their games. But yeah, I don't think Patrick. You know, you may get some of those. I don't want to say, previous or I forgot how to word it, but you know, glimpses of you may get some of those glimpses of those old,
Oh yeah,
2018, 2019, 380 yards, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. Maybe a pick. You may get some of those games, maybe one or two, especially if you're playing against teams where it's going to be a
yeah.
high scoring game. But yeah, I think where he's at right now, Mahomes is good enough. I mean, like you said, if you catch him at the end of the, probably second or third round, then go ahead and take him.
Yes. These and I want that to be the point. Like when you look at these top fives and you see these guys in the bottom part of the top five, don't fret. We're gonna have to do sleepers another day, but don't fret because we're gonna have to do sleepers the next time I get on. I'm gonna be on tomorrow.
Some sleepers,
yeah, because we got some. We'll do sleepers leading into the next position, but these are these guys that they don't suck. They're not bad. They're guys that don't be fooled by like you gotta pick them first. This is not like real. We'll get to some quarterbacks that if you have the opportunity to get to them first, you pick them. These are guys that you
know who those
pick
gonna be.
After you pick, like Coach said, if you get to round 3, 4, that means you done got your running. Maybe you got both your running backs. Maybe you got your running back and your wide receiver and a tight end. Maybe you got all three. Maybe you got 2 wide receivers and a running back, 2 wide receivers and a tight end. You already got the core of who's going to score your points.
We'll talk about this next probably time you get on. But would you say that now we're probably looking more so where it was like, okay, you had to get a running back the first round. Are we maybe going to start looking at getting receivers first round? Is that what it's heading towards? Yeah.
You know me, I've been doing the receiver thing for years. That's because Chase hogs all the backs.
Yeah.
Which is why I went him on here. But then I won't just say him. But our league that we were in, everybody gets backs. And so I realized at an early time, I ain't finna get no running back. So I might as well go wide receiver tight end, which is when I invented, I don't know if we talking about the tight end party.
Yeah.
How I always keep like 3 or 4 tight ends on my team. And it is shifting, but I will say this. In PPR, if you are able to get a running back in today's National Football League that does it all, you're going to be on top. Because there's nothing that can supplement for short yardage, touchdowns that are going to be basically guaranteed. There's nothing that can like supplement for catching out the backfield just because you get a catch just because the play didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So when you have, that's every running back in the NFL now. So when you have a guy on top of that that's going to be getting the ball, running, I don't think the running back, unless someone drastically goes into a league and changes how points are accumulated, the running back is always going to be something that if you can get 2 solid running backs and they stay healthy, you're going to win. I remember the year that Dallas got the last pick, and this is actually what ignited the running back fury, because Dallas got the last pick, and he picked Ezekiel Elliott, and then I forget, he got another top 5 back. And for some reason, they let him do that shit. I was like, y'all niggas just fucking stupid. I was like trying to keep everybody else from getting these fucking receivers and tight ends and fucking with me. I was like, y'all done let this nigga draft 2 great running backs, and he ransacked the league this year. I remember because I lost him in the finals. But he ransacked, actually, was it me? Yeah. That was the year. I think that was the year that Jay Young finished last and to take that shot. By the way, sorry for my mans, because in that league, last place beware, over 10 years of doing the league, the last place person was supposed to do a penalty. Jay Young was the only nigga who did a penalty.
Yeah, he was the only one. Nobody ever did it.
He was the first and last.
Said about it, because somebody supposed to eat a hot chip and they didn't.
I was going to see some. A lot of niggas died. We gonna get that shit straight this year. But I just want to say it is funny that a decade has gone by, and Chris, you can let Jay Young know this. If you hey, bro, do you know that you're the only person to have to suffer the punishment?
Well, you might go ahead and take them niggas to court. I wasn't in there.
Bro, a decade. And the way Chase mixed that motherfucker. And then that nigga, bro, let me put this out there real quick. We're gonna vibe. So he takes the hot shot. His stomach is boiling, and then he decides to drink like half a gallon of almond milk for some odd reason. stomach starts boiling. You know what I'm saying? That nigga look at Dollars and goes, "Oh, can I use your bathroom?" And that nigga Dollars said, "Oh, no, dog, we got we got shit in there." He said he made him an excuse, but Dollars was like, "No, dog, not right now." So he had to drive all the way to Steele. Was it Cipolo? Bruh. With the bubbly
Dollars ain't shit. Dollars ain't shit for that one.
I'm actually gonna say I agree with that and laugh my ass off. Number 5 is your dude Joseph Burrow.
That's my guy. Cool Joe. J-Bo. Yes, sir.
I don't have a problem with this. I think that actually I would actually have him ranked a little bit higher because his team has no defense. It's him and Ja'Marr Chase, and they're gonna be throwing the hell out that pill. They're gonna be a lot of high scoring games that they probably lose. I'd actually have him in my top 3. If he stays healthy, just because he's gonna be throwing the ball, he's gonna be throwing the ball so much.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's that one. I'm saying he's gonna get you 20 to 25, and he's gonna have 4 or 5 touchdown games like he did last year. He had 4,500 yards, something like that, 45 plus tutties. I mean, that's my guy, best quarterback in the league. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but yeah, he's definitely gone. Ja'Marr Chase, and that's like I said, we'll talk about receivers another day. But yeah, he's gonna be predicated on a lot of high scoring games. He's gonna be throwing. He's gonna have a lot of multi-touchdown games. He may get in a couple running ones there, but he's gonna get you about 400 yards. You're gonna have maybe about a couple 400-yard games, 4 or 5 touchdown games, especially when they play the Ravens.
He gonna put up some NBA numbers. I think he might average 30. He might average 30, bro. Cause the amount of pass. I think number 5 is just because the amount of his usage rate is gonna be so high this year. Him and Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins usage rate is gonna be so high this year that it's gonna be. I wouldn't pick all of them or 2 of them, but I would most definitely. We're gonna get into how to pick your team this year. I am having a bingo on offense because they're going to have to score. So you're going to find out real quick if they can or if they can't. But if you have Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, they're going to probably lose some games, but they're going to put up a lot of numbers because it's going to be do or die time for them a lot.
I'm going to say this. Because of course, I mean, we'll get to the top 2, the number 1 and 2. We pretty much probably know who that's going to be. But him, if Joe Burrow's around in that, like if those first 2 go off the board, I'm looking at Joe Burrow like, all right, if I got to waste like a 3rd round pick on Burrow, I'm grabbing him because I know he's going to put up some points. Yeah,
if he's in the 3rd though, that's because.
Well, I'm saying because you know the first 2 that's coming off the board.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say team building. I was gonna say that's why I stopped because I was like, I want to do a team building thing. But I know what you mean, bro. Like 3rd pick, if we're getting into these top 5. So we're getting to these guys that. You pick your wide receiver, you pick your tight end, you pick your running back, and it come back around and one of these guys is available, you take. And I always say, if a guy's going to have a high usage rate, you got to take. Number 4, we're getting in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We definitely had a discussion about that, man. This week for last week,
and hopefully tomorrow Chris can get on, and we might talk about it a little bit. But I think that when it comes to fantasy, though, I have no problem with 4. Like it says here, 3 straight seasons with 10 plus rushing touchdowns. He is the goal line option, the tush push. He's getting the ball. It's not Saquon, and he's got 2 dynamic receivers on his team that are going to be able to put that need numbers and put up numbers. He's got to throw the ball to A.J. Brown or A.J. Brown going to fight. So you got to make a decision there because what I call him, Furious Black.
And then you know when
what is it? 40th Street Black. 40th Street Black.
He told that thing in the air, you know, saying pause, but you know they pushing it, you know. So you know, he told that thing in the air. I ain't talking about the ball. Pause. but yeah, he's definitely. I will definitely go with him. He's gonna get you some. Like I say, he's gonna get you those ones off the ground. I mean, running.
Yeah.
Especially like
Yeah.
you say, you at that goal line. 2 yards out. You can go ahead and might as well just count them points. Like I say, he's got to get the ball to AJ Devontae. So he's definitely gonna go ahead and probably get some touchdowns there. Probably not as many. We probably won't get as many passing touchdowns from Jalen Hurts. But definitely, he's going to get you some, whether it's like 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. And then, of course, you got that boy out there, number 26 in the backfield. If he go ahead, some no screens.
Anytime he dumps it off to him, it could end up being a touchdown. Jalen Hurts is a walking bag of possibility points. Like he's not in any way that you can score fantasy football points, he can do it. He's a great option. He's one of the guys that I think he's almost, and this is not a knock at him at quarterback. This is on fantasy football purposes.
Yep.
He is like having a third running back you can play.
Exactly.
And because not only can he do the quarterback stuff, but he also does the running back stuff. So you're getting, like, he's the true dual quarter. Like, these other guys run, like, we're going to get into the top 2 and things. But he's a true, like, dual threat in fantasy because he's going to get goal line runs for touchdowns. He's going to get QB draws, QB whatever. He's going to run the ball like a running back. And he's also going to get to throw it deep to A.J. Brown and Smith and Goddard and throw it around. So he's a weapon. He's a guy that we can go to, it's team building, but I'd pick him second round. Like, people may say you're crazy, but it for me, he doesn't get hurt. He's a guy that I would pick second round because he's like picking a running back. And that's not a bad thing in this fantasy. That means point accumulation. For those that may think I'm talking bad about him, he is literally like picking another fantasy running back that can throw touchdowns. So he is a literal cheat code in fantasy. I kind of hope I get him this year, but yeah, he's a literal cheat code in fantasy because he could do everything and run. He's going to do everything that maybe your second or third running back is going to do. But he's also going to do things that your first quarterback is going to do. So, super win.
So yeah, no, I would definitely go ahead and get him. I forgot, about him. I won the Joe Burrow ran, but yeah, no, he's definitely one I would definitely take over Burrow, just for the simple fact that he's going to get you those rushing touchdowns. So yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, he just does so much. He does so much fantasy-wise. We don't care. Like, we love it if you threw for 300 yards a game. But if you throw for 250 and you get 3 touchdowns and 2 of them are running or one of them's running, we getting good points out of that. So he's a great fantasy quarterback. He might be one of the top fantasy quarterbacks of all time. Which is another discussion. We have Jaden Daniels at number 3, the hot kid. I don't have a problem with this. That kid is cold at football. Rookie year, 3,500 plus yards passing, 25 touchdowns. He only looks like he's going to get better. Again, I don't like the poise 2 thing, but which we all did, you watch him last year. Jaden Daniels is probably going to be the number 1 quarterback in the next 2 years, fantasy wise.
Yeah, I could
definitely see that. Right now, honestly, I probably would have maybe switched him and Jalen Hurts out. Probably put Jalen Hurts at number 3 and threw him at 4. I mean, yeah, like you said, he had a hell of a rookie season. I mean, no one really expected that coming from him. I mean, granted, with the being with the Commanders, but the Commanders always really kind of had a solid squad around them. They just needed that quarterback. So yeah, I think he's going to be projected to do great things. Am I predicting? I'm not predicting a fall off, but I don't think what he did last year is going to be maybe a little bit below for what he did. Sophomore slump. I don't want to say like a slump. it's gonna be just like a little, little hiccup.
It's
Like a little
just cool
hiccup.
because people watch
Mhm.
film, so he's
Yeah.
still gonna be cold. But
Yeah.
you saying let's chill on him getting the great numbers. I think that's a great point to make. Man, you made a great point when you said you might want to switch him and Hurts. I think the only reason Jaden Daniels is going to be higher is because he's going to throw the ball probably more because he doesn't have Saquon.
He is.
And so when you look at the Eagles, like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to run the ball a lot. He's going to get the goal line plays. But this guy and Jaden Daniels is going to be the architect to every touchdown that they get in Washington. And a lot of them are going to be throws. So
It's gonna be a lot of throws. Yeah, because who's they back? Is it Eckler? They got Eckler, right?
no, they got mini men. Robinson.
Oh, that's right.
Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson.
I think they got
Yeah.
Eckler too, but I think Robinson, which we're gonna get into back another day.
Yeah.
But Robinson is a very good back, baby Henry. But again, I had Robinson on a team on one of my teams last year. Thank you, Robinson. Won a championship. He's a great back to have because when Jalen need help, he give him the ball. The defense is so worried about the pass that he gets yards. But again, that's because he's throwing Jaden throwing it all over the field. So I can see how you can flip him, but I don't have a problem with 3 and 4. I think we all know who 2 and 1 is gonna be before we wrap it up.
So,
We got number 2, Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
This is my guy. I never seem to be able to get him in fantasy. This is a guy that I for sure would pick first or second. If he comes up on the board, he like Jalen. He's like Jalen Hurts, except a little bit more, just because we've seen it in fantasy wise. I know
More dynamic.
Jalen won the Super Bowl. This is fantasy. When it comes to what we're watching, fantasy getting points, Lamar Jackson is the original bag of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting all that shit. If you've played against him in fantasy, if you've seen this shit. I remember Chase had him, and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. He's getting number 1 running back numbers.
It pisses you off.
He's getting number 1 quarterback numbers.
It pisses you off. It pisses you off. Because it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, I got this win. I'm like, all right, who am I playing? Look who they got playing off. Lamar Jackson Monday night against so-and-so. I'm like, God damn it.
And you know if it's Monday night and it's Lamar Jackson,
yeah, exactly.
Like, this nigga about to go for 40. Like,
Yeah.
it's the only time Lamar Jackson struggles is versus Kansas City in the playoffs, bro.
That's it. That's the
That's
only.
why I had to snuck it in.
Mhm.
That's my boy, but I had to sneak it in.
He about to get you, he gonna get you, probably 60, 70 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. He gonna throw, to his favorite target, Andrews. He's gonna go ahead and get it out there, and then of course, not only that, then you think about that, but then you got that boy he handed out to the backfield, who still had 1,900 rushing yards. So man, he's the sky's the limit for him.
It's like the Eagles have, but their quarterback is one that can throw. He's like you said, he's a little bit more dynamic. Not a little, he's a lot more. He's more dynamic in the passing game and can get the ball. Like if Lamar Jackson had AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, that shit would be crazy.
Crazy, bro. That would be crazy.
If you were to swap them. And this is no shade to Hurts. It's just this why Lamar is number 2. If you was to swap them, you literally have like 2 number 1 fantasy running backs and a number 1 fantasy, arguably a number 1 fantasy quarterback on your squad. So number 2,
those games, whoever drafts Lamar and then gets Joe Burrow, like gonna get some points when they play each other. Them gonna be some prime time games, like they were last season. They gonna be some high scoring games. They're gonna be 38, 35, and Joe Burrow done threw for like 400 and 4 touchdowns. Lamar done ran for 2. He done threw 3 in the air. So so you definitely gonna be
both of them getting 4 touchdowns. Like, but look at my crook. They both get 4. So, But again, like we say, this guy and the guy we're gonna name next,
Yeah.
you can waste an early draft pick.
Yeah.
So number one, before we ended up Ghost and get on about our business, I gotta get on this college for a little bit. I don't know if my boy Ahmad is still up, but he told me today that he wanted that fade in college. So
Yeah.
I gotta give it to him. Number one is Josh Allen.
Yeah, boy.
I don't think we can argue about this at all.
No,
I had an argument.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, like I said, how we was talking about with Jalen and Jaden and Jalen. I mean, you can have that same argument with Lamar and
Yeah.
Josh. I mean,
They can flip flop.
whoever, yeah, they can flip flop. I mean, go ahead. If you want to go ahead and finish talking about Allen, I'll piggyback off you. Paul.
I was just gonna say he's another one of those bad. He's a golden bag of fantasy points, but Josh Allen does it in a different way. He's not gonna run for a lot of touchdowns. He runs when he needs to, and every time he runs, it's fucking awesome, and it gets you a lot of points. His passing, he's gonna do exactly what he needs to do. He's a 30-point guy. I think Josh Allen is a guy. More than likely, he might finish with like 25, 20. But he's the guy that you can book it like, all right, he's so cold, and he's the main. When you got the main focal point of your team, and now that Stephon Diggs is gone, oh God.
Yeah.
There's another guy on the team that he's going to throw the ball to, Cooks, who's going to get a lot of points, but thanks for the championship, Cooks. But I believe that. But Josh Allen is the guy that's going to get you a lot of points, and he's going to do it in a fantasy way. He's throwing the ball. He's going to throw it to backs. When he gets in the goal line, he's the other team Bills are the other team that uses the tush push. So when he gets in the close yardage situation, you can count on Josh Allen to get you yards. And of course, like you said, Ghost, he's one of those guys, switch up, like kind of pivot into basketball. You got a guy that's going to go off of 40. Like every other game, he got a potential to go off of 40, and it's crazy because he can get down. So I like him at one.
You take a look at him. I mean, for his first couple of years, I mean, he was a gunslinger. He had the potential to run. He always had, his first couple of years.
You got muffled. I don't know what happened. You got muffled.
Can you hear me better?
Hold up. Try again.
Can you hear me better?
Still kind of muffled.
Oh, shoot. Hello? Better now?
That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's probably my head.
Let me see if I can do.
There you go.
There we go. Hello, that better?
There you go, nigga.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, you clear
all right,
now.
so
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I just threw it on speaker. We had the last one, but so I was saying with Josh Allen, you remember his first, couple of years, he was throwing 35 touchdowns, but he was also a double-digit picks guy. Then once he realized he probably had to start doing more, being pretty much the focal point on that offense, you used to get a lot of RPOs with Josh Allen. If you looked at him last season, he was doing a lot of RPOs, a lot of screen passes, and like you say, he was rolling out and getting you touchdowns that way, getting it on the ground. Josh Allen is, like I say, he's that guy. He's the offense. So he is gonna be predicated on him to score. I mean, like you say, he's gonna be able to pass that ball, but a lot of it, he's in that red zone. He's either gonna go ahead and roll out, scramble in. If he takes off, he's lowering that shoulder, or he'll hurdle over you and he's gonna get you some yards. He'll get you like maybe on a good night, sometimes 60, 70 yards rushing, and a touchdown on the ground, and he'll probably throw about two or three of them out to the backfield to Cook. Yeah, like I said, you can't go wrong with Josh Allen. I think this is going to be another one of those years where, yeah, he's going to go ahead and get you those, 30-point games. I know I had Josh Allen one year, and he was getting me like, 30-point games. Sometimes he'll have bad games where he only passed for like 150, but most of the time he's getting you those 30-point games. I think this year is going to be another one of those years where he's going to be relied to go ahead and score. So, yeah, Josh Allen, like I said, he's getting buckets. So, can't go wrong with him at being number one, or like I said, Lamar. But yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's the top 10. We're going to go over some sleepers. If you can join me tomorrow, Ghost, 9 o'clock. We're going to try to get it going on.
Yeah, I should be able to go ahead and get on. Yeah.
Yeah, 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get Chris in here. We're gonna try to get Dollars in here. And we're gonna give y'all some tips. We're gonna go over I think tomorrow, Ghost, we're gonna go over what you want to do, tight ends or you want to do running backs?
Uh,
Wide receivers last, because that's
yeah, but yeah, wide receivers definitely last. I mean, I guess we could do the backs. I mean, we could do the backs and then do the tight ends and then like I
wide
said, finish
receivers.
it off with the receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we'll be on. You know what I'm saying? You get on. What time is it? I'm sorry, Ghost. I gotta do it. Just tell me. I forgot to tell you the lingo. So, Coach, man. I mean, so
I was about to go hit the
Coach.
Bulls game time. Ooh.
And you know, you can. What time is it?
Game time. Ooh.
Now we're gonna say it's what time is this time for sports? It's sports 30. So we're gonna be back with y'all. What time is it?
Sports 30.
You already know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get at y'all tomorrow. The one person watching right now, I know, Chris. Get with us. 9 o'clock tomorrow. Make time. We're gonna get on these running backs. I'm gonna give y'all the best fantasy players I know, and you know what I'm saying. We're gonna give you what we know. But as a matter of fact, that's about it, Ghost. I'm about to go do an activity that involves trying to get to a place that is above where I am, and then I'm gonna jump. Then I'm gonna jump on this college. Lastly, Ghost will tell you. I'm gonna tell you. We all gonna tell you. If you're listening to this to the end, we love you. Like, subscribe, and if you like playing college football 26, if you're on either in it PS5, Xbox, we love you both. Come holler, chat, let me know, because we're gonna get you in the league. We got a league that's going. Other than that, we're gonna see y'all tomorrow at 9. I hope I could bring some more of 30 friends in, because I got a lot of friends of 30 that knows what to do with the college. I mean, do with the fantasy football. So we're gonna be back. Ghost, tell the people peace.
Hey,
Holla, love, joy.
holler at y'all, man. Hey, y'all stay safe out there. You know, don't be like my boy Unc. Don't be blowing, risking the bag on these young hoes. So, hey, you got to be careful out here in these streets.
I knew you was gonna add some words of wisdom.
Wisdom, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they need to be had. Ghost, we're gonna have to add some. We're gonna add some other lifetime stuff. I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna get this shit jumping. As always, what time is it?
Sports 30.
You already know what it is. We out this bitch. Love y'all. Stay tuned. And we're gonna be back tomorrow. Running backs. Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm late. There we go.